How's it going, everyone? I hope you all are doing great and I hope you all had a relaxing weekend. I am Dork Radu and I am back with another daily analysis, starting off as usual with the Forex analysis. And to be more exact, we are going to start off with CHF JPY that presents us a pretty nice buy limit opportunity. Okay, so as we can see here, we have a liquidity sweep followed by an impulsive break of structure to the upside that also left imbalance behind. And if we enable the trader indicator, we can see that the daily is bullish on the graph, which is a really good confluence for us. All right. Now, as always, we want to see a corrective pullback towards our area of interest in order for us to pull the trigger. Okay. Next up, we have GBP AUD. Okay, so on this one, we have a sell limit opportunity looking pretty nice. Again, we have a liquidity sweep followed by a very impulsive break of structure to the downside. Again, massive fair value gap has been left behind. That's lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, and if we enable the trader indicator, we can see that the daily that the 4 hour is bearish, which is good. And we also have the trader order block lining up with our area of interest. Okay, so we have some nice confluences with the indicator as well. And now, as always, we want to see a corrective pullback. Okay, that's what we want to see. Next up, we have GBP USD with a potential buy limit opportunity, but we can see that price is continuing to go higher and higher. But if we do see a retracement, then this setup would definitely be a valid one to take. Why? This is exactly why. We have this liquidity sweep here, followed by a super impulsive break of structure to the upside. We broke this high here as well as this swing high here as well. Okay, very, very impulsive. We also have this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. And if we enable the trader indicator, the graph is looking very good for us. Okay, the graph is all green, which is a great confluence for us to consider taking this buy limit opportunity. Okay, and now of course we want to see how price will start pulling back towards our area of interest. Okay, next up, Eurojbp with a sell limit opportunity. This one is looking very nice as well. Liquidity sweep, impulsive break of structure, and then we have this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, if we enable the trader indicator, boom, trader order block lining up perfectly with the order block we drew. And the 4 hour on the graph is also bearish, which again is a great confluence. Okay, so we want to see a corrective pullback towards our fire zone in order for us to pull the trigger. Okay, that's what we want to see now. All right, so yeah, now we can move on to our next pair, which is going to be, let's quickly check, GBP JPY. Okay, so on this one we have a buy limit opportunity, again looking very, very bullish, looking good. Liquidity sweep followed by an impulsive break of structure. Imbalance has been left behind. We have this unmitigated order block that is lining up perfectly with our point of interest. All right, and if we enable the trader indicator, boom, the graph is looking very beautifully. And we also have a trader order block lining up perfectly with our area. Okay, so that's exactly what we want to see. And you can see we are keeping it super simple. We are keeping it super simple and super straight to the point. All right, we only look for very good looking setups, and after that we take them and we wait for that corrective pullback in order for us to then pull the trigger and take the setup. Okay, next up, NZD CAD with another buy limit opportunity. Okay, we can see we have a nice impulsive break. Super big imbalance has been left behind. Okay, looking very, very good, looking bullish. Again, the graph is looking very good. Daily, 4 hour, both bullish. All right, so we have a great confluence with the trader indicator as well. And now, as always, we want to wait for that corrective pullback. Okay, that's about it for NZD CAD. Next up, we have Eurojpy. So on Eurojpy, we have this buy limit opportunity, but the price seems that it wants to head higher. To be fair, if this high here will get broken, this setup won't be valid anymore. But till then, it still is. Okay, we have a liquidity sweep, impulsive break of structure. We also broke this swing high here. Imbalance has been left behind. We also have this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. And again, we have some great confluences as well. Okay, the graph is looking very beautifully, very bullish. And we also have a trade order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, so now once again, we want to wait for that corrective pullback. All right, next up, we have Euro NZD. Okay, so on this one, let's quickly see what we have here. A sell limit opportunity looking very, very bearish. Liquidity sweep here above these two highs, followed by a very impulsive move towards the downside. Okay, we broke structure here as well. Okay, so that's a great confluence. And we also left this nice fair value gap behind. Okay, if we enable the trade order indicator, we can see that the 4-hour is bearish, which is good. We also have this trade order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, and now, as always, we want to see that corrective pullback. Okay, that's all there's left for us to see in order for us to pull the trigger on this specific setup. Next up, Euro AUD with another sell limit opportunity. Again, looking pretty nice. Liquidity sweep here, followed by a very impulsive break towards the downside. We broke multiple lows. We broke this low here, and also this low here. Okay, so very, very good confluence. Again, a nice fair value gap has been left behind. And if we enable the trade order indicator, the 4-hour is bearish. And we also have the trade order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. So to be fair, today we really do have some great confluences with the trade order indicator. I'm not going to lie. Looking really, really nice. And of course, lastly, we want to see that corrective pullback. Okay. Next up, Euro USD, looking very bullish. We have some very nice bullish momentum. We broke structure very aggressively. We also had this liquidity sweep here, okay, before we broke structure. Again, a very nice fair value gap has been left behind. And yeah, we want to wait for that corrective pullback. And if we enable the trade order indicator, boom, check this out. Check this confluences out. 4-hour bullish on the graph, and then we have these trade order blocks lining up perfectly with our discounted area. Okay, that's what we want to see. Next up, we have a couple more pairs to discuss. We do have a decent amount of setups. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to analyze the whole roster today, but yeah, it was definitely worth it. Next up, we have USD/CHF. Okay, with a sell limit opportunity, we can see we broke structure very aggressively. Okay, we left this unmitigated order block behind. And if we enable the trade order indicator on this one, we don't really have a confluence, which is totally fine. We can take this setup based purely on price action. Okay, but of course, we want to wait for that corrective pullback. Okay, before we pull the trigger, we want to wait for that corrective pullback. Okay, next up, Euro CHF with a buy limit opportunity. Okay, the euro is pretty strong. We have a liquidity sweep here, very slight, but still counts, followed by an impulsive break towards the upside. We also have a fair value gap here. And now, of course, we want to wait for that corrective pullback. And if we enable the trade order indicator, the 4-hour on the graph is bullish, which is great for us. Okay, so yeah, that's that on Euro CHF. Next up, GBP CAD. All right, with a nice buy limit opportunity, looking very clean. Liquidity sweep here, followed by this very impulsive break towards the upside. Okay, looking very, very clean. Huge imbalance, unmitigated order block here. Now, of course, we want to wait for that corrective pullback. And if we enable the trade order indicator, daily and 4-hour on the graph are both green. So that is great. Okay, and now to end this Forex analysis, our next and final pair that we will discuss about today is USD CAD with a sell limit opportunity. Okay, so we can see that we had a liquidity sweep here, followed by a massive break of structure towards the downside. Okay, we can see that price dropped with some huge bearish momentum. Again, a very nice unmitigated order block lining up with our premium area. And now, as always, we want to wait for that corrective pullback. And if we enable the trade order indicator, again, we have some great confluences with it. 4-hour on the graph is bearish. We have this unmitigated trade order block, again, lining up perfectly with our discounted area. And yeah, it's looking really, really good. All right. So yeah, that being said, this pretty much ends today's Forex analysis. As always, if there's any questions, make sure to reach out on Discord. All right, so now I will go over today's metals analysis, starting off with gold. So on gold, currently I don't see any setups, okay? And to be fair, last week was pretty dry on gold because as we can see, the price action for the past week has been pretty choppy, okay, on gold. And we also approached this daily supply level. So I want to see what reactions we'll have on it, okay, before taking the next step. And right now, I'm just waiting for the price to develop because there's no clear setup for us to trade here. Okay, I'm just waiting the price to develop. And yeah, that's really it on gold. And we can now move on to silver. And silver presented a buy limit opportunity. Okay, so let's discuss about it. Right? So we have this very nice aggressive break of structure right here that has left this huge imbalance behind. This fair value gap is lining up perfectly with our area of interest, with our discounted area. And overall, we can see that silver has been pretty bullish for the past weeks. Okay, so that's also a extra confluence. Now, of course, all there's left is for us to see that corrective pullback. Okay, and if we enable the trader indicator, on this one, we don't really have a confluence with it. But again, it's totally fine. We can also base a setup purely on price action. All right. So yeah, that's exactly why we considered taking this buy limit opportunity on silver. That's exactly why we are considering taking it. Okay. So yeah, that being said, this pretty much ends today's metals analysis. As always, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out on Discord. Now I will go over today's indices analysis, starting off with US30. So on US30 we have a massive linear push towards the upside, but this range here is just too huge for me to consider taking. Okay, just too big of a range. So because of that, I just want to wait to see price developing some more. Okay, so we can see that we are breaking this high here, or at least we are trying to do so. So I want to see how price will react to this level here. I want to see if it's going to break it or if it's going to reject from it. And after that, I would definitely look for some potential setups. But till then, like I said, this range here is overextended in my opinion, and it's too big for us to trade it. Okay, that's why we'll just sit on the sidelines and wait for the price to develop some more. SPX, to be fair, SPX pretty much the same exact thing as on US30. This range, in my opinion, is overextended. We are approaching a pretty important area of interest and we want to see how price will develop around it. And then after that, we can definitely look for some potential setups. But till then, we should just sit on our hands and stay on the sidelines, okay? Because like I said, this range, very similar to US30, is too big for us to trade. Okay, so we are just going to stay on the sidelines and move on. And lastly, NAS100, again, pretty much the same exact story. Okay, pretty much the same exact story as on US30 and SPX, a very a overextended range in my opinion. And again, it is also approaching a pretty important area of interest. So we shall see how price will develop around this level. Would it be bullish and break above it? Then we shall look for some buy opportunities, or if it's going to aggressively reject from it and head lower, we shall definitely look for some sell limit opportunities. Okay, but till then, we are just going to play the waiting game and focus on the other setups that we discussed about that are valid for us to currently trade. Okay, so yeah, that being said, this pretty much ends today's indices analysis. As always, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out on Discord. And lastly, we are going to go over today's crypto analysis, starting off with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin for the past 2 weeks, I would say, has started a pretty choppy range. We can see from the 23rd of October till today, that's exactly 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks. Bitcoin has been in a choppy range, and as y'all can see, there's no clear range here. Okay, we can also go on the daily time frame to see how the daily looks like. We definitely broke this level successfully, and on the weekly, to be fair, the next level could be like 38k. Okay, but that being said, I want to see a good range to trade. Okay, right now I only see choppy price action on Bitcoin. Okay, and that's exactly where we are going to stay on the sidelines and wait for the price to develop some more. Next up, we have Ethereum, and on Ethereum, we do have a valid buy limit opportunity. Okay, so we had a textbook liquidity sweep here, followed by a very impulsive break of structure to the upside. Okay, we broke these major highs here. Okay, and we also left a nice fair value gap behind that is lining up with our discounted area. Now, of course, as always, we want to wait for that corrective pullback, and if we enable the trade indicator, we can see that we have some great confluences with it as well. Daily and 4-hour on the graph are both bullish, and then of course we have the trade order block lining up perfectly with our discounted area. Okay, so yeah, this setup is definitely a good one, a valid one, and yeah, I'm just curious to see how the price will pull back towards our fire zone. Next up, we have Dogecoin, and to be fair, same story as on Bitcoin. For the past 2 weeks, price hasn't really developed any good structure that we could possibly trade, and because of that, I am keeping it super simple, and I'm just gonna stay on the sidelines till price will develop some more and show us some potential ranges that we could then trade. XRP is looking pretty bullish, but to be fair, this is a pretty overextended a range, and I wouldn't trade it. Okay, this is a pretty overextended range, and because of that, I will just stay on the sidelines and leave the price to develop some more. And the price is also approaching a pretty important level here, okay, that we could see some rejection from. So knowing that, all we have to do now is to stay on the sidelines and wait for the price to develop some more on this specific crypto coin. All right, and lastly, Solana, again, we just want to wait for price to develop some more. Yes, we successfully broke this level here, so we could definitely look for some bullish opportunities, but right now there's no range that we could take in consideration. Okay, very clear to see. If we zoom out, we can see that we rejected from this 46 level here pretty impulsively, but now we want to see what will be next. Will we have a break and retest and head higher, or will the price just head lower, break this low, and start heading towards the 32 level or so? Okay, but yeah, knowing that, like I said, we just need to wait, stay on the sidelines, and wait for the price to develop some more. All right. So yeah, that being said, this pretty much ends today's crypto analysis, as well as today's analysis in general. And as always, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out on Discord. And as always, I will see you all on the dork side. Take care.